Hey everyone, welcome to this month Lenses Studio stream. My name is Amir and I'm here that we can make a lens together. Okay, before we start, I just wanna ask chat if like I sound good or if I should speak louder or anything. Just let me know about the sound and video quality and everything. Cool. So yeah, for this month, we're gonna do two projects. So the first project is gonna be like something that people asking about, like how we can add blending mode to the text component, like how the text can have like a blend mode on it. And the second one is we're gonna create the shader that's gonna work with the weather system. So that's kind of gonna sound complicated, but overall it's easy, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's start with the simple one, how we can add the blending mode to a dynamic text. So if we go and search for text, I'm gonna search for screen text, and yeah. So you can see there is no blending option for the text in here, so there is no way that you can change a blending option. So I'm gonna actually change the font here so we can see our text better. So yeah, to all of you guys don't know, you can import the font by dragging and dropping into the resources panel. So I already did that, and then I'm gonna select my text, and in the custom font I'm gonna go and select the font. Now you can see the font is changed, and yeah. So let me look at the chat and question how you can become a lens official lens creator. I think at this time it's close to apply, like but I recommend go to the Lens Studio website and on the OLC page and see if there's an option so you can apply for it. But I believe it's closed at this moment. It might open in future, but keep an eye on the Lens Studio's blog page and news section. Cool. Yeah, you can import the font like that to the Lens Studio. Okay, I'm gonna change the name to something like longer, like hello. Oh god, I cannot type today. Okay, hello world. Cool. And then I'm gonna change the layout to something that looks more cool like this. And let's add some outline and maybe drop shadow. Yeah, that looks cool. And yeah, something like that. Actually, I want all of them to be okay. This is good. Oh my god, cool. Yeah, I'm kind of like blocked my view to the keyboard, so I cannot see my keyboard. That's why I'm just like typing all these random word. Okay, so we have this font here, but we cannot apply any blending effect to this. So how can we do that? So the way that we can do that is we can ask Lens Studio to only render this part onto a texture, like this dynamic text to a texture, and then we add that, like we get that texture and we apply that blending mode on that texture. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna duplicate my camera and I'm gonna rename this to text camera. And then since I want the texture to only be rendering this this text object, so I'm gonna create the new layer called create the new layer. You can create the new layer by going to the layer and click on it and rename it to text. Okay, now our camera is rendering into the text layer, and we want our text to also be rendered into text layer. So I'm gonna delete the top one that we had in here. So now if you look at, we have three cameras. One camera is the main camera that it's doing all of the rendering stuff, and another camera is orthographic camera that we're going to talk about later, and the second one is only rendering the text object. But this camera is rendering the text object onto this render target, which is the main one, which is like the overall main render target. But we want another render target to be specific for this text. To do that, we need to create a new render target by going into Resources panel and search for render target. Cool. I'm going to rename this render target to text render target so I can remember that. And then in here, I'm going to apply this to the render target layer, that my camera will render everything that it sees onto the text render target. Now you can see the text is gone. That's why it's only rendering on this object down here. And if you want to see like what render target is rendering what, you go to the scene config, or if you don't have it, there is a button up here and you can find the scene config, and in here you can say like which one is a live target and a capture target, so you can preview your render target in here easily. So I'm going to click on it to see like this is my text render target, that it's only rendering the text, and this is my main render target, which is rendering the device camera texture, which is me right now. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the chat in a bit, but I'm gonna show you how you can apply this blending effect. So if you go to the orthographic camera and search for screen image, it will add a screen image. Now, in the screen image, on the texture section, we can select our text render target, and you can see our render target is now in here, and we can do any of these blending effects in here like this. Like all these blending effects can be applied like this. Okay, but I know I'm gonna look at the chat for now and come back to this project. Okay. Any question? Yeah, you can import what's the font name called? It's called Jelly Roman. Jelly. Yeah, it's called Jelly. Cool. Yeah. So let's go back. Let's turn this on. And now you can see there is one problem that I have in here is because like if you look at that, I had like all of the let me change this color so it will be more appear. So now you can see I have a black background even if this one is on normal. Like I still rendering back a black background. So how can I make my render target to render transparency? So to do that, we're gonna need to select our render target, and in the clear color, we need to add opacity. When you add opacity, it applies the opacity to the whole hierarchy, like it applies the opacity to the screen text as well. So there is one trick to fix that, to tell the text component to render the alpha too. So because right now it's getting the alpha from the camera, we can tell the text component to render the alpha too. So to do that, you need to have a custom script, which is really simple, and I believe you can use the exact same script that I have, and you can just like copy and paste it. So now we're getting the input for a text, and we're gonna say script.text. We're gonna say the text component and getting the main path so we can access to its material. And then I'm gonna say the color mask should be rendering all the channels. Like we're gonna need to render R, and this is G if I can type hopefully, and this is B, and the most important thing, is alpha, and save it. Then we need to put the script here and assign our text component. And now you can see it's not rendering that actually. Let's refresh and let's see where is our problem. Vector for script. Okay, now we need to, I forgot to say the new vector for. Yeah, cool. Now you can see our image is rendering without any black background. So we can go here and do all of the fun stuff here, and then do all the cool blending effects using this. I'm gonna try to show the different way, and I think this is a cool way to just like have a text on this screen, because it's not getting the whole screen to block or anything, so you can have a cool effects on your screen. Okay, before we go to the next section, anyone has a question? Any question? Someone said I have 6-7 lenses published on Snapchat. Okay, that's great that you have more than 200k views. That's amazing. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Great job. It's amazing. Yeah. Random question: is there any way to change the color of the edge line of the VHS pose effect? I don't remember that. Let me create a new project. So we saw this is the script. If you wanna take a screenshot or anything, can you import any font? Yeah, TTF, OTF, you can import both of them. Cool. The VHS pose effect, I can quickly look at it, but I'm not sure if I can solve it. If you couldn't solve it, let's see. What color are you exactly talking about? That let me ask. Can you change the color of edge line? Where is it? Are you talking about this guy? Yeah, I'm not sure about this question. I recommend you, if you really have this question, just like go into the Lens Studio forum and ask question there. So cause like we have an active community that you can see, and you can ask any question and we will answer it as soon as possible. Like this is the community that there is like lots of stuff already here. Maybe your question is already answered here, and yeah, you can ask any question, and there is cool tutorials and cool stuff in the forum. I recommend you ask the question there, and just like browse the forum. I'm not sure, like I'm sorry, I couldn't answer that. I don't know about that. Cool. Let's go to the second project. I'm gonna create a new, I tried to create a new project and I minimized my project. Okay, new project. Cool. So for this project, we're gonna change the color correction pose effects based on the weather number. So whatever weather number that we get, like if it's kind of cold, we're gonna do the like a cool pose effect, and if the weather is kind of like hot and warm, right now in Los Angeles it's really warm and hot, it should show like a orangish pose effect. Cool, let's do that. Let's start with creating the shader for it first. Okay, to do that, I'm gonna create the pose effect graph. Like the pose effect graph is a graph that applies to the whole screen and apply to each pixel of the screen. So to see the pose effects, I recommend like the easiest way. What I personally do is like go to the object and search for color correction pose effects, and I add that to my project. And as soon as I add it, you can see the pose effects component created. So I can delete the stuff that it added, like the color correction and texture. I don't need that. I'm gonna click on the color correction and put my material that I just created there. You can see it's showing nothing because I deleted the wrong one. Let me redo this again. I'm gonna search for pose effects. Again, it created it. And then in the color correction, I'm gonna put it here. So now you can see we get like a pose effects that it's changing between the like a color map, like a loot map, to like a without loot map here. So let's go and see how can we make a shader that can blend between two color correction effects. Let's also add our color correction effects. Lens Studio comes with like a bunch of color correction effects that you can add, that you can search in the resources panel for color correction, and you can see there's lots of them in here. So maybe for the cool one, we go with the frost one, and I think we should have a warm one. Yes, we do have like two color correction. You can see the preview. It's kind of like this is more saturated and warm, and this is more cool and desaturated. Cool. Let's go to our shader, and I'll be back to the chat pretty soon. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So we have all this fluctuation that going between like left and right of the screen. We don't need that. We don't need the screen chord. We're gonna delete this, and we don't need to multiply anything to anything. We just need this part. This part is the first one, is getting the screen texture and sample that and adding the color mapping, like the loot effect, to that one. So if we connect this, you can see I have a pose effect here, which I can add this warm pose effect or this frost pose effect to this. You can see like how this loot effect is working. And if I wanted to have like a blending between these two, I need two of this. So I'm gonna actually copy this part. And this is my sample of the screen image, and my screen image is the same thing. The screen image, you can, if I can show you the actual image rendered until this point. Cool. Now I have this one, which is a warm, and this one is a cool one. So I can adjust this and apply the frost one. This is cool one. This is the warm one. So we want to have like a kind of like a slider that I can just like blend between these two color. To do that, there is a node called mix node, which you can add like this, and adding the warm color to A and the cool color to B, and connect this to this one. So to have a slider so we can see it very fast, I'm gonna add the float parameter to the ratio, and then I'm gonna enable minimum and maximum. And now you can see as soon as I move this to the right, it's getting to the cool, and it's going back to warm. Actually, we want to start from cool, because like if the weather degree is low, we're gonna start from low to go to high. So it's better to have the cool on 0 and warm on 1. And I'm gonna rename this float parameter to blend, so I can easily access it through the script or anywhere. So let's try this. Yeah, you can see like it's cool in here. It's going to warm. I can try to show it maybe better in here. You can see it's a cool, and as we increase this, it's going to warm. Okay, let's go back to chat. Cool. Hey everyone. Cool. Can you, where was I? So can we add particle to it? Yes, you can add particle anywhere. You just like go on the plus button and search for particles. And where's my particle? It's here. Yeah. Since this color correction post effect is rendering until like this part in the hierarchy, I should put it on the bottom, so it makes sure that it renders everything and apply all these effects to that part too. Cool. That is awesome. I'm gonna delete this particle, but if you like particles, I recommend you to check the particle template too. So that one is pretty nice. So I'm gonna actually save this project to untitled for now. But yeah, let's go to the next question. Tutorial when you get a chance to help making a persistent storage. Yeah, yes, sure, yes, definitely we're gonna do the persistent storage lens. Definitely. Any tips about how to make a camera zoom to the user's face slightly? I think you're gonna learn that one pretty soon. I'm not gonna spoil, but keep an eye on that. We're gonna have a tutorial about that pretty soon, to how to have like a zoom effect, like all these zoom effect. Okay. And yeah, I think, did I answer everyone? Why does text align correctly on some devices, whereas some other devices does not align correctly? Okay, so if you have anytime like have a aligning issue, you just like first, if you want to try on other devices, there is a device simulation built in at the bottom of the Lens Studio that you can try and see how your lens looks like on other devices, and make sure like if you let me bring like a screen text, and where's the font that I have? So yeah, I want to try to make it more visible, and okay, it's visible now. Yeah, so yeah, make sure all your screen transform is fine, and if you want to do alignment, you can use like a horizontal alignment like this, and a vertical alignment like this, and change the numbers. Or if you want to just like make sure to have it on the safe renderer, you can put it on the safe renderer, and then apply all these things that make sure that it's not overlaying with the Snapchat UI. I hope that answered your question, but if you want to learn more, I believe we have a very good guide about the screen transfer on the Lens Studio website. Cool. Yeah. Let's go back since we don't have much time. Okay, so how can we blend this? Let me disable this guy for now. Okay. So how can we animate this? How can we animate this from like a 0 to 1? I believe in the previous month I show you guys how to do it with Tween script, but I'm gonna show it again because it's really awesome to do that. Okay, to do any animation inside the Lens Studio, you can use Tween Manager. And when you import Tween Manager comes with some examples that you can learn how to use Tween, but we don't need it and we're gonna delete it. But make sure to keep the Tween Manager object in the scene, and then make sure to place it on the top of the hierarchy in the objects panel. Cool. We did the first thing that it's important to place the Tween Manager on top of the hierarchy. Then how can we animate this blending mode in the Lens Studio? I'm gonna create an empty object and I'm gonna call this Tween. I'm trying to be clean as possible in here. And then on the Tween object, I'm gonna add the script, and in the Tween tween types, I'm gonna add tween value. This tween is just like doing the tween between any values that given by the user. So how does it work? So you can put the name on it, so you can find it in the script. I'm gonna put the blend name since I'm just like moving the blend value on my material. Then in here you can say it plays automatic. You can say the loop type that you wanted to do, and you can say what kind of data is that. And if you remember, we had a float in here for our slider as a blend. So in the tween, I'm gonna change this to float. And yeah, our numbers start from 0, goes to 1, and time, we're gonna make it a little bit slower, 2 seconds to just like do the whole animation. And maybe just like half a second delay would be good for now. And in here, you can specify what should this script do with this value, like with these values that we're giving in here. So I'm gonna tell the script to set the material parameter, which we already defined as a blend. So to do that, first we need to specify the material. I'm gonna drag and drop and place a material here. And then I'm gonna put the property name, and property name in here is gonna be blend. Now you see the animation happen. Let me go back and put it. See, it's automatically doing the animation. But the name of the script, that property that I put there, is come from the script name, the blend, and in here is blend. And let's do the animation one more time. Let's try to make it fast, and you can see it changed between two pose effects in here. Cool. I'm gonna put 0 for now here, and let's see how we can get the data from like a weather information and apply that data to this script to do this animation for us. Like what we're gonna do is get that data, like a weather data, and place it and convert that data from the value between 0 to 1 and place it as an end value for this. For example, if the weather is like 67 degree, it should put like 67, and this is a post effects that I'm getting. Like if it's like really cold, like 20 degree, like 0.2 would be good. That is kind of like a cool looking effect in here. So it's kind of like a dynamic post effect. Okay, any question? Cool, we don't have any question. That's amazing. So how can we get the user data? How can we get the data from the phone that is like asking for the weather information or like all other stuff? So if you go to the Lens Studio website again and search for user context, there should be a guide. In the API section, you can see user context system that you can get all of these data from the phone. So what are the data that you can get? Like the altitude, request birthday, birthday formatted, like on the formatted that you want. Display name, temperature, and all of these stuff that we can get. And also we provided the example code that if you don't know how to code, you can use this example and copy and paste it into your project. Okay, so for my purpose here, I'm gonna try to get the weather. So request weather, yeah, I'm gonna get the weather in here in this example. Okay, I copy that, and I'm gonna go here in the resources panel and create a new script, and I'm gonna call this weather. And then I'm gonna create the new object and call this controller and place it on top of my tween and apply my weather script to it. Okay, let's double click on the weather and paste the text that we copied from the website. And if we save, you can see it's gonna say the weather outside is raining. It's weird, it's not raining here, but this is like a sample data, because on like actual data, desktop machines, you cannot get the data from like raining. It's only showing on the phone that you can get all of these data. So if you want to see it better, I can connect this data. Instead of seeing it in the logger, we can see it on the text. So I'm gonna get the text input and call it text, and I'm gonna have a value variable for current weather, and I'm gonna set it to 0, and I'm gonna say current weather equal to weather, so I have access to the weather everywhere in my script. I cannot type today, and okay, I'm getting the weather. Or I can use this later. I'm gonna comment this out, and in here I can say script.text equal to weather text. Now if we assign our text to our script, you can say it says raining, but it's not raining. I can show you on my device. The weather outside is sunny in Los Angeles. So if I push the lens to my device, and you can say it says sunny. Cool. And you saw how easy it is to send a lens to your device, just like seeing it. Just like click on one button and your lens is gonna push to your devices. Cool. Can someone send the link? What link do you need exactly? I can, maybe if I have it, I can paste it. So if you're looking for the user context system, I put the link in here. This is the link to user context system. Okay, so we got the weather, but we want the exactly like a degree of the weather. So if you go to the list that we have here, we can have a request temperature in Fahrenheit. I'm gonna paste it here, and I'm gonna rename this to maybe degree. So I have the degree in here, and I get an error because now the number that I'm getting is a value, like it's a float value, but in the text you need to pass in the string. You can convert this to a string, or what you can do is turn it to a string by doing something like this. It's turning to a string. And actually, to make it a little bit more cute, I'm gonna try to search for degree symbol, and yes, this guy, and I'm gonna put this guy here. That's cute. I like it. This is cool. Okay, we got this huge string, huge float of the weather, but again, we can try to have it like not show all this crazy number. Cool. We got the number right for now, but we're gonna use this number to do the blending between those two post effects. How can we do it? Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna comment this out for now. We don't need it, so we're gonna see how we can do that. Okay. First thing, what I'm gonna do is have this weather, like a variable current weather, so I can get the exact degree from it. So if I want to do everything, I have like a copy of it in my current weather here. Then what I'm gonna do is try to pass this value to the Tween as an end value. So again, I'm gonna go to the Lens Studio website, and search for Tween and see how I can code using Tween. I'm gonna go to here and try to find a set end value, or anything with end value should work for us. If I pass that, I hope I didn't pass that. Set end value, that's what we're looking for. I'm gonna copy this, bring it here, and paste it in here. So what we have here. So this line of code is telling the Tween manager to set the end value on a scene object. So we need to have a scene object for that. And where is our scene object? It's this Tween scene object. So I'm gonna have a reference in here for our scene object, like I'm gonna call Tween object. And in here, I'm gonna change this to script.Tween object. So we have our Tween object in here. Then the next thing that it needs, the Tween name. So we can find the Tween name in here on our Tween object, which is blend in this case. So I'm gonna have the blend in here, and then a new end value. So we need to pass in end value, but we need to make sure that our value is kind of be between 0 to 1, because if it's higher than that, it's gonna just like overblown the pose effect. So I'm gonna put this current weather and try to divide it by 100 for now. So I have the end value working right now. And I'm gonna actually disable the play automatic so it doesn't play for itself. So I have the numbers ready. Cool. Then what I'm gonna do is ask the Tween to play the Tween for us instead of like doing this automatic. So I'm gonna go in here and try to find start Tween. Yes, there is an example here, start Tween. I'm gonna again copy and paste. Again, we want the animation to happen on our Tween object. And then the Tween name is blend. Now I'm gonna save, and oops, we're getting error. Okay, on the controller, I forgot to set our Tween object. So I'm gonna click on it and select my Tween object. Now you can see it's doing that. So we can test how it's working. Like if the weather is 10, it's really cold and like this. And if it's like real hot, it's like this. And if it's too hot, it's like this. Okay. But we're gonna go with the degree, like what it is right now. Like it's really warm outside, so I think this is a good color for the weather that we have here. So but the cool thing is, like, we show to our user like what's the number of the weather that we have. So we're gonna try to update this number with our pose effects. Like as our pose effects try to just like go on the orange color, we're gonna update this text too. Okay, how can we do that? We can again do that. Like we can literally set the number like this. But or also, like, if you think like this is not that cool looking because all of these values, we can do the math dot round and try to round the number and something like this. And maybe we can make it bigger. 100 would be cool. Something like this. But still, like, it doesn't have that feeling. Like, you can see this color is growing to some number. Like, if I can put like the time to 3 seconds that it's trying to go, but the number is kind of like a static looking. How can we make it more dynamic? We want the number to also be animated like our pose effect. So what we can do is exactly copy this tween that we have for the doing all this blending and paste it on the same object. And this time we're gonna call this tween degree because it's gonna change the degree number. And again, our data type is float 0 to 1. This is fine, the time 3. But this time, we're gonna ask them to go and update this text. But if you see, there is no option for text to get updated. But we can use all these, call this API function to update our text. To do that, we need to create that function. First, I'm gonna go to my script, and then I'm gonna write function update text, and I'm gonna say like a value, and then in here I'm gonna say script the text is equal to value, and we want this value to be a rounded value, since we saw that it was like a huge value up there. Okay. And also I want this guy, this cute guy in here, and I can now delete this line. But this is not the API function. To turn that function into an API function, we just go on top of our script and say script.api, and you just like put the function name equal to function. Now this this script can call that function. And how should do that? So this is a controller that has all the weather information, and this is Tween. So in here, call API function, we need to have this script. So this is our script. And what is the function name? The function name is update text value. And now you can see still nothing is working, because we need to first assign the end value and then tell the Tween to play that. So to do that, again, we need the same two line, but this time, instead of doing the Tween on the blend one, the one that has a blend, we want to do the Tween on the one that has a degree Tween name on it. Then the end value, this time, we don't want it to divide it by 100. We don't want it to be just like a decimal value. We want this to be the actual value, and we're gonna save it. And now if I save it, you can see it's showing the weather degrees. We can try to debug it like this. I can change it, and boom. That is cool. And I'm making sound effect by myself. 70, and maybe what's the weather outside? I'm just gonna look at it. Oh wow, 91. I'm gonna put 91 and see. This color actually really looks like 91. I like that. But definitely you can use Photoshop to over exaggerate it, like all of these post effects. Like I use the one in Lens Studio, but you can definitely, like, for example, I can just like use the cold one and show it in Finder, and then open it in Photoshop, and I can show you how you can do just like some customization on it. For example, I can just like do the gradient map, and on the gradient map, I can go to one of these blues and maybe choose this one. This is gonna turn our image completely blue, I guess. And if we start, wow. let's make it like crazy color. I'm gonna show in Finder, and the warm color, I'm gonna go with like crazy yellow greenish color. Gradient map again. Let's see what we can find in here. Do we have yellow? I cannot see yellow, red, orange, green. Try. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Now you can see our color right now is like this. this is nice. I like this. This is really cool. Cool. That's it. That's what we made in this one, and we turned it into the crazy looking color lens. And if you're wondering like why is this having this kind of color, so because we don't have any black values, if we add the black value, don't save that, and I don't look like that, and I will look, actually it's completely opposite. Like I have to make the black on the left and this one on the right. Okay, now if I merge this and save, now I should look fine. This is much better. And let's go back and fix this one so it doesn't look too bad. Okay, I'm not gonna make it black. This is nice. I like it. Cool. Well, that's it, guys. I'm gonna come back to chat right now and see if you guys have any question. I don't know about that and question. Good night, guys. Whoa, thank you for watching us from Germany. Okay, oh my god, 4 a.m. in India. Like, thank you guys watching from all around the world. Can we do a small GIF like video clip in Lens Studio? Yeah, you can add any kind of GIF by clicking on the plus button and click on the Giphy button to import from Giphy. Like you can import that I miss you as a screen image. I miss that. That is kind of cool. Or you can import your own GIFs into Lens Studio too. This is kind of cool looking. Okay. Yeah, and add hologram shader. Yes, we have like tons of shader. Like there's a button here you can click, and there is a hologram shader that you can apply and import to your project and have that in your scene. I'm gonna import it. So, and I can have like a sphere in my scene. Make sure it's above the color correction and add the hologram. Whoa. And yes, that's cool. Thank you guys for watching, and it's almost weekend, so have a wonderful weekend. And thanks for watching again from all around the world. Thank you. Bye.